Let's ramble.
Okay.
Sounds good. Well, welcome to the Rambling Realtors podcast. It is volume 1 of edition 1, chapter 1, section 1.
First of many, hopefully.
First of many. I think we want to begin by thanking our 4.5 followers on all of our social medias. We appreciate you. Mom, Dad, thank you.
They're real troopers. Yeah, we appreciate everything.
I think we should probably talk a little bit about our origin of this podcast.
We started this podcast idea just kind of as a joke almost. You know, we started it and wanted to get into podcasting and everything, and we just started making little clips and it kind of worked, but now we're here wanting to do full-blown podcasts. So
right? Like, I mean,
cool.
Our kids and friends weren't listening to us, so we figured, the internet probably has someone who would listen to us a little bit.
Yeah.
And obviously we wanted to provide value to realtors. We wanted to, and clients, for people who are just thinking about buying a house or thinking about making a move and don't really know where to start. And most people get started on the internet when they're bored, being curious. And so we made a couple little short clips that you can find on our Instagrams and of just like fake podcast stuff that we did. And like we kept getting asked, like, man, we want to listen to the rest of your podcast. It's so good. And we're just like, oh, yeah.
We're definitely going to do a podcast.
We'll make a podcast. That created the Rambling Realtors here. I think real estate's one of those things that can just evolve into something you never thought that it could.
Yeah, and it's hard, man. I mean, real estate as a whole can be just lonely. So, like, it's better to have other people working with each other. And, that's kind of the goal that we try and do. And honestly, I want to kind of dive into CCC with you.
Oh, that's a great place to start.
So,
I love that.
Because CCC is something that we've just recently started doing, and I think it's a huge deal to where you can get the team feel and get a better team feel, I think, but not have some of the things with a team.
Yeah, I think we back up before we dive right into that, because I think CCC is the solution for the problems that we both faced as agents, and what I feel like a lot of agents face, because a lot of agents, like you said, like, it's lonely. Like, it's hard. Like, a lot of people, all they see is the social media celebration at the closing company, and they're just like, oh my gosh, must be nice.
Yeah, must be nice.
Must be nice, but they don't see the hours of rejection. They don't see the, all the things that we see. But I started on a team, and I learned a ton from the team leader. He taught me a ton. I even had my own team, and I learned a ton from my partner. She was great. She's smart and brought a lot to the table, which was great. And I learned a ton from that experience. And then I've been a solo agent for a long time. And my advice, what was the advice I gave you? What was that first meeting like? You always give me a hard time about it.
I do. I always give you a hard time because Joe always told me, man, just go to a team. Just go to a team. And I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I started as a solo agent, and it was hard. It was rough. I mean, I started at Keller Williams, and it was good.
Which is a great brokerage.
Which is awesome. I
started there too.
Keller Williams. Yeah, they're great, and I just found different support that kind of molded me different, and that's what I love. Each brokerage has their things too. I mean, each one provides things and has different people. That's the biggest ththing too. That's what brought me over and to HomeSmart where you were, and now that we're at Real. It's just been a different change because of the people.
100%. I just remember because my advice is, if you want to be successful, you got to have someone to invest in you. And normally in the real estate world, mentors won't invest in you without some sort of financial contribution, whether they take from your commission or whatever the split is or however that works. That's just the cost, right? Like, they're going to invest in you X amount based on your performance, which is why I tell a lot of people, hey, you will not succeed unless you find someone to invest in you. So join a team is how it comes out. So I still remember when you're just like, Joe, I'm just not going to join a team. I'm going to do it on my own. And he's like we often joke, he's just like this little acorn grown into this mighty oak now. But yeah, so then we were just like, okay, let's do this, because I enjoy helping agents. We enjoy helping agents. And we were just like, let's go do it.
I mean, it's just grown from there. And you've been in the industry for how long again?
I think 6 years, six and a half.
So 6 years, yeah. And I mean, I met you when I first got in, and that was almost 2 years ago now. I mean, there's been a lot of different things that we've thought of and done. And
I just think that over the last 6 years, the whole real estate market has changed. Like, we went from land of milk and honey when all we had to do was pick up the phone and people could buy a house. It was great.
Show up, look pretty, and then just
I didn't even have to
show
look
a
pretty.
house.
'Cause thank God, that would have been rough.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, you just had to show up, which was great. And now it's, we hit the wall of like people don't want to move. They bought a 2% interest rate coffin, and they not moving. And so now we've completely shifted market, and it's completely adapted. I was thinking today, all the differences in my business now. I'm calling for sale by owners almost every day. We're doing open houses. A good friend of mine, when I started doing open houses, was just like, "What, you're doing an open house?" Like,
yeah, like really?
Because it'd been years since I was really committed to that, and now we, I've done 30. You've probably done 30.
We do them
or
all the
something
time.
like
Yeah.
This year, it's just madness, and we do it because it works, right? But let's talk about CCC, because I think that is going to be the meat and bones of today's episode.
Yeah.
We're both solo agents. We encourage agents being solo, building your own brand, and collaborating with other agents and finding success in what you want to do. And so Kelton and I, when we joined Real, we wanted to provide value to agents and value to our clients. And I knew I wasn't smart enough. I mean, to do it on my own. And Kelton felt probably the same way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we wanted to expand our options. So we started what we call CCC, which just stands for calls, coaching, and content.
Yeah.
So
ultimately, at least what I see as the goal or the end product from CCC is that we have a lot of agents that aren't scared to talk to each other. Because that's what's funny is nowadays, like I've heard it from multiple agents, that even the old time agents that are saying, "Oh yeah, I don't even get a phone call from this agent when I get an offer anymore." Or, like, other agents don't really care. Like, I feel like the business is just not really there. So at least that's what I see with CCC, is that that's a good aspect of it, that it can really bring all realtors together more and just make them like really introduce themselves and really be in the market instead of just halfway.
I think the goal is leveling up. Like you said, there's so many. Every agent's different. Like one of my favorite sayings is, a lot of agents will get paid a commission, but we like to earn a commission. I use that every appointment, I'm sure. My clients are probably like, okay, I heard this before. But at the same time, it's true. A lot of agents, like not all agents are the same. And so we have this abundance mentality that we can help agents and they can help us, and a rising tide lifts all boats. And so that's kind of our CCC. So normally we start off with calls, where we call buyers, we follow up on open houses, we call our sphere, and we do it in a group, which is so uncomfortable for everybody.
It really is.
Ugh. So if you're an agent and you're just like, oh my gosh, I could never do that, we've all thought that, we've all overcome it, and we're going to generate more business for ourselves and for you when you come, if you come, which you're welcome to come to. Whoever you are.
Yeah, whoever it is
whoever
watching.
you are, all four of you. Just come on
all three of you.
Yeah, all three of you. I mean, we did lose a couple on here.
Yeah, dang it.
Dang it. But no, so it's just calls. It's uncomfortable. And we just give feedback. Like you'll get on, like even on a voicemail, you're just like, was that a good voicemail? But it's a good way to get constructive criticism and being cheered alongside you. Because when you're in the trenches, when you're doing it, you first think everyone's judging you. You think you're messing up. And you're going to be worse when people are watching. And my biggest advice for that, when people are on the phone, and I tell this to anyone that I make calls with, is remember that, like, hey, you woke up and you're just like, hey, I'm going to get some buyers on the phone. I'm going to make some appointments. I'm ready. I'm prepped. I've done this X number of times before. Even if it's just once before, like you've done it before. The person on the other line, they didn't wake up thinking, man, I'm going to reject Kelton today. Like when he calls me, I'm going to hang up on him. Like I'm ready. So we're already better prepared for that conversation than the person on the other end of the phone. So have that confidence going into those calls. And so the calls are great. They're hard.
Yeah, the calls are
awful,
good.
But
and me and Joe like to try and provide coaching. That's the next aspect, is the coaching. So I don't know if we want to single out Nancy or not, but we love Nancy.
I think you just did.
We love Nancy.
We love us some Nancy.
She's amazing. And
all-star.
She's doing great. Like I feel
So
like she's
good.
been the first one at CCC with us, other than like me, you, and Noel. And it's been great because it's been just a different perspective. And her business, I feel like even just with coming to CCC, is starting to grow. You're starting to see a little bit more growth there just from her getting kind of out of her box. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, if you're in the comfort zone doing
It's
CCC,
not
like
good.
for you. Like go close more deals. Like it is not a comfortable place.
No.
Like, and if you think it, like we're comfortable like giving feedback to people who we think are smart and amazing,
It's hard.
And we're just like, hey, maybe change this a little bit. Like when really
Yeah.
we're just like, man, that was great. Like, that's better than a lot of agents. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but we still give the coaching. Speaking of Nancy, like she said the most profound thing just today. Nancy, we appreciate you letting us share this.
Yeah.
But she was just bringing up the fact that like, hey, like doing these things has reminded me that these activities are what actually get people into the house. Because all of us as realtors, like there's certain parts of it that we like love to do. Like we all love doing the fun parts. We love building the
going
closing
showings.
baskets. Yeah, we love going to a showing. We love, you know, like winning. We love the closing at the title company. We love dropping off our cutesy gifts to our clients. And I love gift wrapping doors. I love that. But you don't get to do the fun part without the hard part.
Yes.
And the hard part is what supports our families. The hard part is what makes all of our goals come true. And on future podcasts, we'll dive into like why we're doing this in general. But like at the end of the day, none of us woke up when we were kids being like, I'm going to be a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do like, I wanted to be a cowboy. Like when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a cowboy. And like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's like pictures of me as a little kid with a cowboy hat.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
when I lived in Honduras, I actually stole the gardener's cowboy hat, and I wouldn't give him. I was a little brat, but like I wouldn't give it. I'm sure my parents had to like pay for it. And they're just like effing kid. Like,
Yeah.
But like but I didn't even have like I didn't know anything about cowboys except like John Wayne and movies and stuff. But none of us woke up wanting to be real estate agents. But so anyway, sorry to digress. I think back to that coaching though, like Nancy's absolutely right. Like the calls are what's going to bring us business. The coaching. And that coaching, we do role plays on like how to approach people at an open house, how not to be weird, how to approach your sphere, like like people like come to us prepared with like, hey, I'm actually struggling with this. I'd say like I think this is our theme of our coaching is we want to tell you what you need to be better, not what's going to make you feel better.
Yep.
Because we've all been in real estate
that.
meetings when they're just like, oh yeah, like this is normal. Like, yeah, it's normal, but let's change your response to get the result you want.
Yeah, and I mean, let's put it this way. There's a lot of agents, especially when you start out. I know that my dad, he's been in sales and
we love us
everything. Yeah, Nick Beam.
We love that guy.
He's been in sales. He sold vacuums, cars, boats, trucks. Now he's selling potatoes, and it's awesome.
So he just leveled up each round.
Yeah, he's gone up and down and all the things. But what he always told me is at the beginning, it's a numbers game, right? So instead of someone experienced like Joe or like
us,
that it's a numbers game. You got to call 20 people to get the one lead that's fruitful instead of an experienced agent that calls 10 and they get 5, because they know what to say. So it just refines your thinking and says, okay, let's be more knowledgeable about what we're saying. I mean, that's part of the coaching part that we're trying to get to too, is trying to make agents and get agents to a point where they're more confident with what they're selling and just with themselves than just trying to sell a house. At the end of the day, it's all a numbers game. I mean, no matter if you're a good agent, bad agent, indifferent, it's all a numbers game. And you got to hustle. It gets lonely and it gets hard because you get frustrated. And once you actually see that people are happy with your service and with you as a person, then I think that's where it all pays off, really.
I agree. Yeah. I think you're right. Like, it is lonely and it pays off. The rewards are always worth it. I used to do this silly training with a deck of cards, and I'd hand 2 deck of cards to people, and I'd be like, okay, flip through until you find the one with the $20 bill taped to it. But you have to flip through them one at a time, right? And so, there's 52 cards in a deck. They're going to find one. And so if you know that it's there, like, why wouldn't you flip through it as fast as you possibly can?
Yeah.
Right? And then you get better at flipping. Like, it is a numbers game, but like, there's no reason why we can't be better at the numbers. I mean, I have so many thoughts on that, but we'll save that for other chats.
Yeah.
Other ramblings.
Other ramblings. Yeah, there we go.
I think the other part on the coaching that I really like that we've been doing is when someone has a problem, like, you get to hear the actual response of what works, and they can either accept it or reject it, right?
Yeah.
And I think being a solo agent, like, we become the most forgiving boss, the most understanding boss. Like, holy cow, I wish I had bosses like I am for myself. Like, yeah, take some time off. Like, leave at 3, like, every day. Like that'd be great. But when you're self-employed and when you're a solo agent, the only person keeping you accountable is you. And so I feel like CCC provides an opportunity for you to be on the chopping block and say, okay, I'm making this phone call.
Yeah.
I'm following up on the person from last week. Or you have to talk about your business and be like, I got nothing. Where you got other agents that are hungry. Because like, people that aren't hungry aren't going to come.
No.
Like they just won't. Like, why are they going to put themselves into an uncomfortable situation? Which is fine if that's where they are.
Yeah, and that's okay. If they want their business to look like that, that's totally fine. You know, we want people to be hustling and going and doing things, especially like the 100 Club.
Yeah, the 1,000 Club.
Yeah,
Club
we
1,000.
could go into that.
Let's
for
talk
a
about
second.
that.
So the 1,000 Club, isn't that what we called it?
Yeah, I think
100,000?
Club 1,000. I think
Club 1,000. Okay.
Yeah, we're obviously very on top of this.
Yeah,
Like
we're all about it. And we watch
easily
it
focused
closely.
hours of our time invested in the name of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Club 1,000.
So it's about just agents getting together. Like, it's a Facebook group that we created, and it just says, hey, I'm doing this open house. Hey, I'm doing 5 open houses this weekend. Like, there's one guy on there that's awesome.
Let's give a shout out, Tyson Wallace.
Yeah,
Just total
Tyson Wallace,
stud.
man.
He's probably already at 1,000.
He's he's awesome. I see him doing open houses like
Monday, Tuesday,
4,
Wednesday,
yeah,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
5
Sunday.
times a week, 10 times a week. It's insane, and I'm sure that his business has grown just from that.
Sure.
Right?
Or he's grown.
Or he's grown. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. One of the main things with open houses, since we're here,
Yeah.
is that I went to one of Joe's open houses, and it was awesome. Like, I was early in my years in real estate, right?
Sure.
And just trying to figure out why people wouldn't sign in, or why people just didn't really care that I was there. And I learned that it's because I wasn't really providing value to them while I was there. So that's when I started doing home buyer packets and actually explaining things and getting the house ready, or houses, because after the open house, you can say, hey guys, I've got 3 other houses on a list that are very similar to this and in the same price range. Do you want to go look at them? Like, are these in your price range? And then it just brings up another question that you guys can talk about and have them get closer to you as a person. So,
I think the Club 1,000 has been great. I think, I mean, last year we were really committed to open houses and found great success. This year we've both been very committed and we wanted to open that up. So we opened it up to all agents, any agents, no matter where you are, you can join our club. And basically you just post how many you did, what's something you learned about your open houses, and, you know, just a place to celebrate. Because at the end of the day, because it's such a lonely job, a lot of people think the only time you celebrate is when you close a deal.
It's when you win.
And that is hard. Like, even if you close a lot, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not going to close 365 days a year, which would be great, right? But unrealistic. And so in your business, you can win every day by the activity.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to, you know, when we started this, we wanted to create this atmosphere where you can celebrate victories based on activity. And so I think it's a great place. So if you want to join it, send us a message. We'll invite you into the group. And our whole plan is we want to get to 1,000. Once we get to 1,000, we'll celebrate with a big dinner or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, once you get 50, which Tyson's probably already there, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If I'm at 30, I'm sure he's at 50. But then you get a plaque, like an engraved plaque for you to celebrate your activity, because you know, you don't get plaques every day as an adult. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, how cool is that? But yeah, this actually was stemmed from Kelton's idea last year, where we challenged each other for open houses, and we took a page out of the Count of Monte Cristo for the winner, the winner and the loser, and we passed this ginormous king's chess piece, saying "kings to you" to whoever was winning. It doesn't matter who has the chess piece now; that's not important. But it does look nice in my office.
Yeah.
But regardless, so we wanted to expand it because it pushed both of us. Like, we both did way more open houses, helped way more buyers than we would have otherwise. But that's kind of the idea of, like, the CCC is we want to incorporate the activity into income producing activities while providing the support that you get from a team without taking the 50, 60, 70% splits that some teams are taking from their client, from their agents, right? The people that they're trying to say, hey, we want you to be successful, but give us 70% of your money.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
tough.
if we go into that. That sounds negative.
Yeah, that does sound negative,
We don't.
which is okay.
Teams are great. We love teams.
Yeah, we love teams.
They have a place.
They have their place, and I'm glad that you said that. I mean, there's a lot you can learn, not just from teams or solo agents, but even outside of the industry.
Teams absolutely have their place. You're right. We're right. We love the team mindset. But however, I think there's a better way to go. I think there's a better way to build a brand.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you that are taking scrupulous notes, we keep saying CCC. And we've only talked about
So now
calls
we're
and
on our
coaching.
last C.
So last C.
Yep. And that's content.
Content.
We
love
want
us some content.
Yeah, we like not the crazy kind, but we like not the crazy kind, but we like having something to where it lightens the mood of real estate as a whole.
Yep.
And it's a little bit fun for us to make content and do things like this, like a podcast.
Yeah.
Or even some of those silly videos that I'm sure you're going to watch. Our 3 followers are going to go watch all of them and like them all.
Just interact with them so that way we have more followers than just our parents.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Maybe comment once in a while.
That'd
just like cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or profound points.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, something intriguing.
Yeah.
I want your thoughts on this. Is like we do content. I have some thoughts on content in general. You won't meet someone 2 years ago. You wouldn't have met an agent more anti-building on social media than me. I was like, no, it's calls, it's this, it's that. That's how you build. It's relationships. Like nothing on social media. Like if you look at my nothing. But like for you, what's the most important part of building content? Not just social media, but content for you. Like why is that important for your business? And then I'll go after you.
So the biggest thing, and that's why I love this podcast idea, is because it kind of gives people the feel of us as people. Because some of our videos are so stupid and we love them.
So dumb. But
right?
so are we.
And so we love it. It's fun. So it gives them a feel for us. And it lets them know that we have a fun side, but we can also be serious when we're, throughout business and all the things. That's the main thing for me, is that the content part just gives people something to look at for you, and it gets them more, or gets them closer to you.
Yeah, builds trust.
Yeah, builds trust in you because they see what you're doing. And a lot of agents too will just post about their, closings or pendings or new listing.
Which we think you do need to do, but
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
and congratulations on all your success.
Congrats. But spice it up. Like, it doesn't matter if you're bad in front of a camera or not. People don't care. They want to see who you are as a person. And that's the funnest part. That's what a lot of people don't understand, is they just want to see you for you.
One of my favorite professional mentors one time, she would say this on all of her trainings, is that people don't go to social media to shop, so why are you going to social media to sell? I do believe that that's changed a little bit, but regardless, I like that mindset of like what people are doing on social media, like why are they there? And oftentimes it's to be entertained, it's to fill time, it's to feel good or whatever. And so I was always told that I was bad at social media, and so I was just like, yeah, I am. And then I started thinking about it, and if you think you're bad at social media, or you're worried about your video being perfect, or you're just like, I look like this, you won't find anything more discouraging than when you look at your like analytics or whatever that is. Look at how many people don't even watch past 3 seconds.
It's crazy.
Like you will be like, wow, like nobody cares. And so that, like, once I realized that, like, no one cares, like, at all, like, so just do it, and who cares? So we started doing it because I was like, okay, I want to reward, like, making calls is hard. It's fun. It's like injections of excitement, and then like a long meal of rejection. And I always joke that like high school and being as short as I am and looking the way that I do, like I was ready for rejection. Like prom, I was set, like just rejection. I'm good for sales. But I was like, it wears you out. It's hard. It's sad. And so I was just like, okay, I'm going to make my calls. And once I'm done with my calls, like we can make a funny video. And so I still remember, us starting that. Like I was like, okay, we're going to start that. So the beginning of last year, I was like, okay, I want to have 1,000 followers on every platform. And now my goals have changed because we've had some success.
Now he's Mr. Popular.
No, like, but once again, it's not popularity. It's not anything except it checks the box. Because now I'll call a for sale by owner, and I'll hit them with professional Joe. I'll be serious. I'll connect with them. I'll build value. I'll make them laugh a little bit. And before I set the appointment, I say, hey, you know what? Just go ahead and Google me before I come. Just type in Joe Kohler or type it into any social media. So that way you kind of know who I am before I get there. And I can't tell you how many appointments I've had where they're just like, yeah, I looked over your stuff, and it was a firm listing. It wasn't me trying to convince them to want to use me. Like they were already ready at that point, which is crazy, especially if you look at my social media. You're gonna be like what? How does that work? But like that's my invitation to agents, is like my 2 invitations for agents. Can I?
Okay. Go ahead.
So my first of which is, if you're an agent and you want to build content, make a goal for whatever you want it is, and then sit down with someone and say, how do I accomplish this goal? Because so many people are just posting, like they have no rhyme or reason, no goal, no strategy. They're just posting because they know that they have to. So make a goal and then build a plan. And then my second action with social media is realize that at first is going to be your slowest return on your investment. So, and my videographer friends are going to hate me. They're like, don't invest a ton of money into your social media because you're going to pay thousands of dollars for videos. And I've done it because I do it for all my listings, get really beautiful videos of the houses because that's a service that I offer as part of my listing. But realistically, the ones that get the most views are the ones that Kelton and I, Noel, the other agents that come to CCC that we just get together and make on our phones, and it's not super perfect. Like they are the ones, like some of them blow up to millions.
Those
of
are the
views.
ones. Yeah, those
like
are the ones that blow up.
And so like just being yourself, like don't overspend on your budget before you're getting your return, and determine what your return is based on whatever your goal is. So have that be your map. Those are my two thoughts on social media. But back to CCC, the content. It's weird to make content alone sometimes. And so it's great to have someone hold your camera, someone help you with this or that, or just have other agents be in it. And like, maybe you don't have the following you want to have on social media. So you want to be like, hey, Kelton, you have more followers than me. Let's collaborate and make this video. And you can draw from each other and grow. Because if you're still an agent that has that scarcity mindset, like you're just not going to make it.
It's not,
Like, sorry. You're going to get beat out by agents like us. And I know that sounds cocky, but like...
And it's true.
It just happens.
That's the hard part, is it's true. Because there's a lot of agents out there now that don't have that scarcity mindset, and they're blooming.
Yep.
They're doing great. I kind of wanted to piggyback off of what you said
Pop on
earlier. All right. The main thing with content, too, is consistency.
Oh,
right. That's the biggest thing with content.
Oh my gosh, that's the biggest thing with all CCCs.
With everything.
That's the big
C. Yes, that it should be CCCC. C. But we want to make that known too. That consistency is really what it boils down to, because we want to be consistent with our content. And I love what you said about just not posting all the time about random stuff, because people will watch, but it's the consistency and it's what you're consistent about, right? So if you're consistently posting silly stuff, they're probably going to think that you're consistently silly, right? Or if you're consistent about only posting open houses, they probably think that you love doing open houses, which for the agents out there that love open houses, props. They're so fun.
No, I think consistency is huge. And I think we kind of end our podcast with this part of it, because we can do many more of these, right? But the consistency is what will always matter. Like people will ask me, Joe, where did you get your success? Or like, hey, what do I do? And honestly, I really just want to shake them and just be like, whatever you do it all the time. Yeah. Like if you're like committed to your newsletter, which don't be like, but but I mean, like, it's great. You can get some good things, but like be consistent at it. And when you can be consistent at one thing, then add another thing, and now you're consistent at two things. Like like my social media plan, if they were to look at it, they're like, we got funny work videos, we got the This Is Idaho, where we're doing Idaho adventures. People will literally like come up to my kids and wife and be like, oh my gosh, you're Joe's wife, oh my gosh, you're Joe's kids, like, because they see them in my videos and they're like, oh my gosh, you hike all the time, you go paddleboard, like they see that, and then they see that I close, so they'll see my closings, they'll see my listings, they'll be like, okay, he's working, he's playing, he's with his family, he thinks he's funny. Right. Like those are what people will see on my social media, which I feel is a pretty fair representation of myself. Honestly, I think the one thing I'm lacking is probably the serious part. I could add some more of that, and that's one of my goals with this podcast and also my other stuff. But
as far as ending on content, because I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it too. Like, know that you have something there to do, and don't use it as a filler. That's another thing that I wanted to touch on. A lot of agents will use silly excuses just not to work. Right?
Yes.
And that's super tricky.
That's why it's the last C.
Yeah. Because we want to do our 2 C's up front, right? To make it to where we do the activity that's important, the calls and
the coaching,
the coaching, and then we do the content because it's fun. And it can be beneficial in the right way, right? All 3 of the C's are very beneficial if you use them right.
Yeah.
But a lot of agents will just abuse only doing content, or only doing open houses, or only doing some of these activities that aren't super, super important, that are just
maybe
fillers.
not important, aren't going to accomplish your goal.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, because I mean they're all important.
Yeah.
But as far as like, they aren't going to be the one thing that changes your life, which is why any agent that's honest with himself is why they got into real estate, is to change their life.
Yep.
and to change the lives of others.
No, you're right.
Because
You're
like a lot of
100%
people are
right.
going to tune us out and be like, it is important. I'm like, it is, but is it? Like,
Yeah,
like,
there's some things.
The goal's important, so let's make sure we're
Yeah.
accomplishing the goal.
And whatever your goals are, they are important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether they be silly, whether they be huge goals, all of them, they're important. So now we want to invite anyone that's watching still, hopefully, to come to CCC. We do it every Monday and Wednesday from 9 to noon. We'll see you there.
Yeah, we will.
It's a fun time. It honestly is. And we've got a good group of agents that comes.
Yeah.
It's good coaching. It's good learning.
You won't find a place in the industry where you can be a solo agent to find people who are rooting for you as much as you are rooting for yourself, who are not getting money from you. And it's a sincere group.
Yep.
Honestly, like if you come and you don't have the vision of mutual success, you don't have the vision of pushing yourself or leveling up, you probably just aren't going to come back. Like, we're not going to tell
Yeah.
you not to come back, but like, you will just be like, oh my gosh,
You'll
all
just
these
feel-
people are a competition, but they're cheering on me. And if that's weird, you won't come back.
Yep.
Like, it's for people that want success in their business and are happy for the success in others. I'll end us off with, just come. Monday, Wednesday, come.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening to your Rambling Realtors.
We'll see you guys next time.
And ramble on.